Do an intro. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this month's webinar. Let us know in the chat if you can hear us, if you can see us, if all technical things are going well. My name's Maura. I'm the marketing manager here at Shogun. I'm also the person who sends you all the emails. I'm joined with Jonas and Andy today, and we're really excited to be sharing you one of our newest updates. So Shogun is a two-product company. We have our drag and drop page builder app, Page Builder, and we also have our all-in-one front-end solution, which is Shogun Frontend. So we have a new update to Shogun Frontend that Andy is going to be demoing. I also have Jonas here. If you guys have questions on anything related to front end, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll also do a Q&A at the end. And afterwards, we will send out a replay. So don't worry if you have to hop off or if the sound starts getting wonky, we will get a replay out to you today. And with that, Andy, I will let you take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys can hear me okay? Everything's coming through loud and clear? Cool. And I'll go ahead and I'll share my screen and make sure that my screen share is working properly. Fantastic. Yeah, and if folks can see my background, well, we love Crowdcast here at Shogun. One of my favorite features is that they don't actually have a black background blur, so you can see the messy office space behind me. So apologies for that. If anybody knows a hack for that besides just cleaning it up, let me know. But yeah, my name is Andy Fisher, a product manager at Shogun. I've spent most of the last year focused on the page builder product, but now we're trying to, as Maura mentioned, kind of combine forces and really take the power of what you can do without a developer in page builder and apply that to the amazingly fast and powerful application that you can build with front end. So for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to be using, this is one of many demo stores that we have. I call it the Shogun Shop. It's full of awesome apparel. This store is fully live, although I don't think that we're actually fulfilling any of these orders. So if anyone finds themselves to this stage in URL and buys something, apologies if it doesn't actually get sent to you. But what I wanted to show you, so again, just as a primer, this is using our starter kit, which is the basic set of sections that you get with when you start building your front end store. We've got shirts and tees and hoodies, and you can actually see all the products that are available. Even got some fun accessories that we've created. But so the way that this homepage was created using front end was using the kind of paradigm. Let me just X these out of sections and pages, right? So this is the front end experience manager that we currently have for all of our customers. And the way that you add a page, right, is you click on the add page button, you can type something in like demo, and we let you start building the page with pre-built sections. And these sections, for those of you that don't know, are sections that are coded in React. There's complete flexibility. A lot of our front-end customers are doing some incredible things. Brands like Zynus and Nomad have built out these incredible sections. But the way that it's built right now is you actually you have to have these sections pre-coded to be able to actually build out these pages. And again, if I jump back to, let's go to the home page that I was just showing you, this guy. This is built with, this is a section up here called banner. These are sections called product grid. You can actually see them right here over in the sidebar. But again, if I want to make edits, I actually have to have that section already exist, or I need a developer to actually code that section for me. And so when we realized that what we could do is actually continue to support this functionality, but also add in page builder, we had a really neat idea, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So in this experience now, when I go to pages, instead of having just that one option, now, and this will be live in the next week or so, I get this new option called Build with Page Builder. If I click on that and I type in a name, so let's call this Demo 1. We'll give it a path of Demo 1. I hit Add Page, and some magical things are happening behind the scenes to allow for our Page Builder app to actually be automatically installed and integrated with your front-end site. So now what you're seeing, those of you that are actually familiar with Page Builder, or have used this in the past with Page Builder for Shopify or BigCommerce or Salesforce Commerce Cloud, this is our editor that allows you to do all kinds of stuff with no code. If you haven't checked in a while, we actually have a new feature we call Block Library, where we're constantly adding new pre-made sets of elements and controls that we've built for you. So you can actually just come in here and grab this hero banner, pop it in here. It actually has a heading and a button and text already applied to it. Again, if you're not familiar with Page Builder, there's a million and one things that you can do. I can swap out this background image with something else. I can change the font, color, size, everything you can imagine. If I decide, you know what, actually black font doesn't make sense here, it should be white, and this button should be red instead of being black. There's all these things that you can do, mobile styles, and happy to go into more detail on kind of all the things that you can do. We've even added new features recently like animations, so you can actually have fade in and fade out and all kinds of things that you can build into your page. And you can build this entire page all using Page Builder. Let's go back and get rid of that red box. It looks kind of crazy. And I'll actually show you another feature. I'm going to delete this whole thing. And I'm going to show you a feature that we have in part of Page Builder called Snippets. So snippets are kind of blocks that you created yourself previously. So here's one that I created earlier today. I can just drag this into here, pops right on the screen, looks pretty good. I can go drag another snippet that I have, put it right here. I can change, like I said, this demo heading to be, featured 1 and featured 2. Now here's where the magic comes in, right? So I've done all this work. Awesome. I'm going to save it. And again, what we're trying to make sure that everyone knows is that what you're building here is not something for Shopify, not something for BigCommerce. This is something for your front end site. So now that I've actually saved it, there's a link right here. I can click on this, and it's going to take me right into my front end experience manager and show me a visual preview of that thing that I just built in Page Builder. So you can see it's got all the styles, it's got the mobile styles, it's got everything that was already set up. I can preview it here. And it's already ready to publish, right? So if I want this page to go live in my store, I just come over here to Site Manager. I generate a new version. There's some awesome new functionality that we've added. So you can name this version like Demo Webinar. I'm going to hit Create. We'll let that run in the background for a second while I show you a couple other things. So as you can see now, if I go back into my Pages tab, you'll see that there's a new page called Demo 1. Which I just created and is being published as we speak. Now, if I want to make any changes to Demo 1, right now we've actually limited it so that you have to go back into Page Builder to make those changes to keep everything really, really simple. So I click this button. It takes me right back into Page Builder really quickly, and I can start to make changes, right? I can decide I want to change anything that I want. I can add in all of the amazing functionality that we have. We can later in the call kind of share examples of some of our customers that have built some incredible things using Page Builder. But again, all of the content information, all of the structural elements, sliders, tables, accordions. One other thing I'll show you while we're waiting is the collection element. So one of the things you can do with Page Builder that is dynamic to your e-commerce platform is actually using product box and collection elements. So let's say I wanted to add in a collection here. And I know that I have a collection called long sleeves. I know that because in my Shopify backend, you can see that there's actually a collection called long sleeves, and it has these 4 products in it. So because we know that, I can actually come in here and add in those 4 products to a collection element. I can save that. And this, again, is pulling dynamically from the e-commerce platform via front end. And so now if I jump back over, want to preview it again, I can see that I can actually use that dynamic content from my e-commerce platform to show these elements right here. So so much power and so many things you can do with Page Builder for front end that we're just excited to see what people create. Again, I can jump back in if I want to make changes to things and kind of mess around with anything that I'd like. So I'm going to jump back to the actual store itself. And show you, again, I mentioned this is the home page that I had originally created using sections, but here are some demo pages that I prepared before this. So this is PB for FE Demo 1. You can actually see this is live, part of my store. It's all here. This is Demo 2. And you can see the page loads, lightning fast because it's part of the progressive web app. As I bounce around, you can see I can kind of jump into this product, jump back to the PB for FE page. this page, the entire thing was created in Page Builder and is now available as part of my progressive web app, which has all of our proprietary technology that allows us to pre-render, pre-cache, all these things to make it super, super blazing fast. Just looking through, there's a couple comments or questions. I can take a break for a second to see what's going on. Amen, the news I was waiting for. Love that. Looks like Joe, can this be used in a non-e-commerce setting for a marketing and sales site for a contractor's business? Beautifully intuitive MS. So today, Page Builder works for a few different platforms, including Frontend, Shopify, BigCommerce. But they're depending on kind of what if you're running your business on your website on one of those platforms, Page Builder will work for you. But if you're not today, there's not any native support between the Page Builder app and kind of other website hosting platforms. So let's go back over to my site manager. We can see that my new thing that I had built should be now available. So I can publish it, publish now. So it is now live. I can jump into my, whoops, let's go to my store. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong place. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, there's a small issue there, but we'll jump back to the store and you can see, again, these are pages that I created before this call that have these, beautiful experiences that are totally editable. All created in Page Builder that are now available to me in my front-end store. So again, if you go back into, let's close this guy out. Let's go here. So another thing that happens, right, is so you've got these we've talked about sections, we talked about pages, but there are templates. So we create a new template called Page Builder Page to organize everything that you build in Page Builder will live under this page template. You can see we also have templates pre-built for products and collections and blog pages. But every time you add a new page with Page Builder for front end, you'll see it show up here in this list. Again, here's an example of some of those pages I had created before this call, just so that you kind of see them. Got the collection, the custom review elements, all this good stuff. Yeah, and there are, again, a couple caveats here. What you're doing in Page Builder, it does have dynamic data from at the product and collection level, but it doesn't today actually access any of the CMS data that you may have added into front end. Stay tuned for more on that in the near future. But I think the use cases are plentiful for how you could actually use this functionality. It could be as simple as, hey, I want to spin up a landing page to announce some new promotion, and we don't want to have a developer have to get involved at all. You can do that with a few clicks using Page Builder for front end. You can, like I did here, actually redesign your whole homepage using front end and kind of use all the power of the no-code builder. And coming very soon, just to tease it out a little bit, you'll be able to actually create sections using Page Builder. So if you want to be able to come in and actually build a page with sections like we have with our standard homepage, you'll be able to build those sections using Page Builder and then add them to your pages from this menu here. I'll pause there and see if there's anyone else that has any questions or thoughts or feedback in the chat, or anything, Jonas or Mara, that you think folks might want to know about.
We did have one question from Zach that was in the question box, and he was asking really how this would work using Nomad as an example. So Nomad Goods is one of our front-end clients, and they have very advanced functionality. So can you or Jonas address a little bit how Nomad has done that?
Yeah, I think I can speak first, and then if Jonas wants to jump in. So again, what we're showing here is not a replacement for the power of what you can do to build complex things, using like writing code, right? There's a lot. So if you think about the complexity, there's a few different things that I think Nomad is doing here. And Jonas, feel free to jump in if I misspeak anything. The first thing is just how fast and efficient their website is. And that's a testament to how front end works and how we're doing all these things. So when you look at any sort of thing, this is an image with text and a button, a super high quality image. Some of these animations, as you dig into more functional, interactive things, I think you were talking about like different swatches. So today, you could actually use a product box in Page Builder to be able to build out some of this functionality. But if you want to do more kind of advanced, interactive, logic-based, CMS-driven things, as an example, I'm pretty sure as I switch around, if I go to a different product like a iPhone case, there's some really cool stuff that they're doing. That right now it's brown, so as I scroll down the page, I see brown elements. Here I switch it to black. I see black elements. Everything's super fast. You've got this amazing UI. A lot of this kind of things, I wouldn't recommend using Page Builder to do that. This is where you can actually marry the power of our progressive web app that lets you have super high-res images, beautiful stuff, and have it be rendered really fast. You power that with what you can do in React and build out in those custom sections. Page Builder, I would not recommend to do that. But if you have certain pages or components of things that you just want to have some kind of basic content that doesn't require a lot of logic and thinking, Page Builder is a great use for that. So again, like the home page, potentially other content pages, landing pages, you could build out a lot of this functionality using Page Builder for front end. But as soon as you start to do more interactive things, like having different swatches and other bits of content, that's when you really, I think, want to invest in making sure that you're writing, having the development experience to support that. But I will say that we're constantly focused as a business and a product on productizing all of those more advanced things so that you can do those without code. But today, yeah, some of those things, and I'll give it to Jonas to follow up. I think you definitely today you want to be able to leverage the JavaScript and kind of advanced CSS that you would want to be able to do a lot of this stuff. Jonas, did you want to add?
I think you pretty much nailed it. I think the only other thing, Zach, just to add on to that is, in that specific example, I think, Andy, if you had gone back to the actual page with the cases again, those variants with the colors are not actually variants. They're actually different pages. So if we were to go back to the actual product page itself, if you could, and click on those variants, you'll notice that the URLs themselves, right now it's called rustic brown in the URL, right? But if you were to change that to natural, you're going to see that switch to natural. That's just, again, the power of our PWA, right? With the speed factor, Nomad is now able to play and use that to their advantage and making it look like they're variant options, but they are in fact different pages. So again, just to kind of add more context there.
Absolutely, that's a great point.
I think there was another question though. I think specifically
William
from William.
Says, can we create our own custom blocks to be used on Page Builder, or are these all default Shogun options? So yeah, let's jump back over to Page Builder. So there's a couple different things that you can do. Let's do this. So our terminology, so we basically have a couple different elements that even elements. We call these things elements. So they're broken into these buckets of structure, content, front end, or the elements that you get from your front end data, form, social, etc. So these elements are kind of pre-configured by us. So things like columns, right? You can add in columns and start to actually create, 4 columns, and then you can add in, if you want to put a heading in each column, you can do that. So heading is another element. So these are all elements that have control. You can create anything you want using these elements. You can save it as a snippet and then use it later. A snippet is basically either one element or a collection of elements working together. So if this hero banner 2 is actually, you can see it's a button and a heading and a text all inside of a container. So you can create your own, what we call snippets. And then blocks are basically snippets that Shogun has created for the world to use, right? So technically what we actually do, a peek under the hood, is we create our own snippets and we turn them into blocks that are then available to you. So everyone gets access to these, but snippets are actually a direct relationship to the user itself. So if I make these snippets, other Page Builder users are not going to be able to get access to those. But but you can build anything you want. You have this ultimate control. We also have a concept called custom elements that we can follow up with, but that actually allows you to use some custom code to be able to do things. We also have an HTML element as well. If there's something that you want to add in that isn't actually supported fully via these elements. But yeah, we try to give you as much power as possible. But again, as Peter Parker or Uncle Ben from Spider-Man likes to say, with great power comes great responsibility. That, because you can do all these things, you need to always make sure that you don't have all of your different team members going off and creating all these custom things, because we give you so much power here. Let's see. Zach said, how does change affect SEO rankings and conversion data with so many pages loading per product? Jonas, maybe that's best if something you could answer.
Sure. So think of them as different products. What they're trying to do is to try to portray them as variants, but again, they're completely different products, which means they'll have their own SEO keywords that are related to that page, right? Again, that's why they're playing with this variant option, with the fact that they're loading up different pages, different products. So hopefully that kind of helps answer that question, Zach.
Yeah, thanks, Joe, for the compliment. Appreciate it. Looks like Zach had another question. We're coding each one separately.
Okay, so I can definitely talk to that. Every product page is built out using what we call our templates within Shogun Frontend. Templates allow you to build out your product pages at scale, so you don't have to create each one from scratch. We definitely wanted to have a lot more automation there, right? So you basically have these pre-created React components set up for your product page, your PDP page layout, and it applies to every single product. You can have a different template too for collections, a template for blog pages, so forth. But no, you don't have to create different product pages at all. That would be painful, I would imagine. So
yeah, and so you can see here, this is the logo hoodie gray product page, but it's a reading, you can see from this pink box here, from a template called products. And so you do have the ability, if you want, in front end in the Experience Manager to add custom sections at the page level if you want. But by default, right, because this product template over here is built with a few sections that are contextual based on, what the current product is or any other piece of metadata that you want to provide. They all get built automatically, right? I can click between, logo T white and logo hoodie gray and all these different things, and I'll see, that basic information. That's kind of, but I can, if I want, actually add in additional sections here at a page by page level. But this lets us know that this is all being driven by the products template, which is also being driven by the CMS. And we've got these content. Every product, has a CMS entry that has tons of metadata around it, both from the e-commerce platform or custom fields that you may have added if there's other things that you want to be able to access. And again, just to reiterate, like the current iteration of Page Builder for front end does not read from the front end CMS. It does technically read product data, product and collection data. That was how I was able to show you that thing. But anything beyond that, it doesn't currently read from. So those more advanced things that you want to do that are really CMS driven today would be best to be done via the front end Experience Manager.
Yeah, I think Zach is also asking if so Shopify is my back end. I'm editing that product specific data in Shopify, and front end is pulling it to render on that page. And
that's correct. Front end is pulling it in to render on the page. And also, if you want to use Page Builder on top of that, Page Builder is grabbing the data from front end that grabbed the data from Shopify. So we have all of your e-commerce platform data, and we kind of can, as you can see here, everything that you're seeing in here, all the Shopify data is coming from Shopify. In fact, it's actually, I believe this is read only. So you go and you make changes in your e-commerce platform if you'd like. If all of a sudden, hey, I need to change something about this, it should propagate, throughout our platform. And again, if you're using the page builder UI that I showed you earlier, it's doing the same thing. It's grabbing that product and collection data and allowing you to to manipulate it to kind of build out the experience that you want. Cool. Happy to jump back in and show some of the more kind of really interesting things that you can do with Page Builder for folks that aren't as familiar. Let's go back to our demo 1 page. No, Zach, this is why we're here, to ask these questions. In the weeds, the reviews and software for Nomad is spread on the entire page, and the reviews below are based upon the product or the product sub option like brown. Go back into Nomad. Oh, got fast 404 pages too. So reviews of Nomad is literally the entire page, and the reviews below are based upon the product. Yeah, I don't know if Jonas, if you have a answer for that, or we might have to follow up in more detail with how they've set up.
So when we apply integrations, think Yotpo, think Okendo, or the other reviews apps, we're tying it to your CMS as well. But the idea is that for every product, we're always going to pull for the template, right? So the template has the images, the product box, comments, right? The reviews, but it's all going to be relative to that specific product, which is why it's going to be unique, right? So if we were to click on the what was the other color? The other black. So let's go back down again, unless they specifically chose. So yeah, sure. Is that the same color or is that the black one?
I think it might be the same. I wouldn't be surprised though if they're not showing different reviews based on color.
You could do either or. To be honest, you have that flexibility, right? So the way it's pulling is it's obviously even Yotpo, right, or these other review integration third-party applications, they're going to pull the right review for the right product at the template level. So that's all developed for using React at the React level within that component. And this way you can, so you asked if we can merge that data together into one. I would see why not, right? The idea is that if you're trying to show variance and you're keeping everything else static, you could do that. But if you wanted to have different product pages for different types and show them relevant reviews accordingly, you could do that too. It might make sense to keep the reviews the same for all the different colors, right? Because this way you could have a ton more reviews to showcase for that single product, even though it's a different color, right? Exactly. So yes, brown, black. So that's totally up to you. You can keep it the same review, or you can have more specific review. So right, in their case, it might make more of a strategic sense to actually use more volume with reviews, no matter the color, just to help from a selling standpoint.
100%. That makes a ton of sense, Jonas.
Yeah.
I wanted to take a few minutes. I know we're at the half-hour mark, just to talk about a couple things that I personally love doing in Page Builder. Some very common instances. We talked about using snippets, using blocks, but how easy it is to actually change the layout and display of certain things. So let's say I've got this hero banner here. Again, this is a text element, a heading element, and a button element all inside of a container. If I decide, you know what, I need to swap this out for a different image. Well, one fun thing is we have an Unsplash integration with Page Builder, which is super cool. So let's say I pop in this one. Let's see if that shows up. And then I decide I actually want this to be on the other side of the page, right? This doesn't make sense anymore. All the space is over here, negative space. All I have to do is just come right into these elements. There's a lot of different ways to do this. And I can just, without writing any code, I don't have to change margin or padding if I don't want to. I can actually just move these elements around, right? I can change the alignment. If I decide that I actually want these to be centered, I can do that as well. I can move things around. Same thing down here. Really, you know, when you dig into a lot of websites, I think the thing that a lot of people forget is how little bits and pieces of design can kind of change the whole look and feel of something, right? So this is an outline box, right? But if I wanted to change this to be, you know, a fully, let's make it a grayed in box that has no transparency. And now it's black. Now I want to give it a, let's get rid of the border so that it doesn't have that extra little white border. We can make the border black as well. So now it's all black. And now actually, you know what? Let's add in an animation. So on hover, we want this thing to actually pulsate a little bit. Let's go to the mouse over animation and let's have it pulse. So now, the best way to kind of see the preview is to see it in this experience here. But now you can see on mouse over, it's actually going to pulse. And so these are all the types of things that you can actually do using Page Builder without writing a single line of code, right? You can make all these changes, add things around, move things. If you can, you know, all of the canvas is kind of totally up to you to be able to do things. Let's say this image, right? This background image today actually has an overlay color that has like that. We can actually lighten the image right here, right? Just using, this is all, you know, our no-code tool. What it's doing behind the scenes is adding in some CSS, but you can make all these changes, right? You can change the overlay color. If you want to give it a tint of red, which will probably look pretty weird, but just in case you wanted to, right? All of these no-code things that you can do to be able to make your site look and feel the way that you want it to. There's not enough time in the day to go through all of the different things that you can adjust: animations, margin and padding, alignment, shapes, colors. Oh, let's actually do rounded corners. That's another thing that I think people often forget about. How can I make this feel totally different? If I give this a border radius of 30 pixels, now I've got a round button, right? There's just so many different things, and to make it really easy, we show you, hey, I can actually see that there's animation applied here, so I can change it if I want. I can duplicate this button. We can make this one be, let's make the padding on this button a little bit wider. Let's do 1.5, and let's make the right and left margin bigger. Again, all of these things that you can do without writing a line of code are now available as part of the front end kind of stack, right? Now that Page Builder for front end is available and can be accessed. So yeah, I love this stuff personally, just because you can build all the coolest stuff that you can, whatever you can kind of imagine you can build, and now you can do it with your PB for FE experience. Again, I'm going to go ahead and save this. We've kind of made a mess of this page, but let's jump into, once it saves, our front end version of this. That again is ready to publish when we want to publish it live to our site. Looks like there's a little CSS error there that we'll have to debug. Again, this is still technically in beta. Yeah, I'll get back to you on that one. I don't know why that didn't show up properly, but probably a sign that I shouldn't be doing silly alignment things like this with my site. But again, all the things that you can do in Page Builder are really powerful, and now they're available to you to build pages in front end. Just looking back at the comments for a second, looks like Zach's got a ton. I'm sure we can schedule some follow-up time. And then Corey, interactive design on Page Builder, like animation 3D when you scroll moving items. Hopefully, I touched on a few of those things, Corey. So yeah, today we have a few different animation types. So again, we have get rid of this ugly button. We have under the styles tab, you can add in a scroll and view animation. And what that means is when the item actually appears in the viewport, it will animate. And so you've got a list of pre-built animations there. We also have, as I showed you, the mouse over animations. That's when your mouse actually is over the element. You've got a list of things you can do there. And if you really want to get, super custom with it, you can actually open up the advanced settings for each of these things and add in a delay, a duration. If you wanted to iterate only once or multiple times, you can do that for all these things. Not every element can be animated, but the vast majority of them and the logical ones certainly can be. And then you can also actually have the entire thing animated. So let's say like this whole container right here, actually want to add an animation, not just to the button or the text or the individual text, but the whole thing, I can actually have, as you see here, have the whole element itself, the parent and the children, actually fade in left, whatever it might be, and it will cascade down. Thanks for the heart, Corey. Glad that was what you were looking for.
Andy, we also had one other question from Corey, and she was asking about direct integrations, if we had one with MailerLite. So I was wondering if you and Jonas could kind of touch on how we work with integrations for both Page Builder and front end.
Yeah, so starting with Page Builder, if you're using Page Builder for Shopify or BigCommerce, there are a whole host of integrations that we currently support. The most recent exciting one is a Klaviyo integration that allows you to use our custom form elements and have that data submit into Klaviyo. But if you're using Page Builder with front end, really you want the integrations to be as part of the front end native stack. Maybe Jonas can talk a little bit about integrations at a high level and how they work with front end.
Sure. We've built in native integrations for many of the top performing APIs. So think Klaviyo for email marketing, gorgeous. Yacht. I mean, I already mentioned Yotpo, Justudo, Rebuy for personalization. So whether they're out of the box or not, they do need to be incorporated into React components. So think of them as accelerator packages. They're essentially NPM packages that are used by developers to be incorporated into React components. You'll obviously have support through us, through our implementation support teams. But yeah, we partner with our customers just to make sure that these integrations don't slow performance as well. So what I'll do, just to add to that, is I will provide a link directly to our integrations. Oh, you already did that. Thank you, Maura. All right.
Yeah, and that got me thinking, another use case that we haven't talked about much, but it can be very valuable with Page Builder for front end, is if you have a lot of content pages, like blog pages, as an example. If there's, we know, someone mentioned SEO before, the best businesses have, tons of content on their sites. And that's something that could, that maybe doesn't require a ton of, interaction or integration or heavy lifting. And you just want to be able to really customize exactly what those content pages look like. That can be a great use case for Page Builder for front end, because you don't need to have, again, all that heavy stuff, and you can just, build things out exactly how you'd like. Again, landing pages, promotional pages. One of the biggest things is the value of front end is speed and performance, and we see that a lot with our advertisers, right? Brands that are advertising that want to have an Instagram ad or a social ad and send them to a landing page that loads really quickly. Well, now they can send them to a page that loads quickly as part of their progressive web app, and that is some standalone other thing, and it'll have all of the kind of the power of the front end progressive web app. So just something else to be mindful of as we continue to roll out all these features. And then I guess one other thing I would also mention is we talked a little bit about mobile responsive. So in Page Builder, you have the ability to preview things and add in all sorts of styles. You can see this page that I created is super mobile responsive. Here's one thing that could be enhanced upon, and I could show you later kind of how to do that. But this customer reviews, the way that it's set up, it will stack at a mobile view. But if you wanted these to be centered, again, easy stuff you can do without writing any code. Yeah, there's just a lot of ways to be able to build the site exactly how you want it using Page Builder. So super excited to get this into folks' hands. I guess in summary, so Page Builder for Shopify and BigCommerce are, we have thousands and thousands of customers, tens of thousands that use us every day. And so if you're new, or if you find yourself on this call and you're on one of those platforms and you just want to try this out, that's a great way to see what Page Builder can do, and find us in the app stores under Shogun Page Builder. And for front end, this new Page Builder for front end will be available to all front end customers in the middle of next week. So stay tuned for that. But it's a really exciting development that we think is going to help not only our existing front end customers, but folks that are maybe even thinking about moving to front end. That this could potentially really speed up the process and allow you to get to your launch date much faster without having as much reliance on developers and development agencies. So yeah, exciting stuff. Really glad that we could show this to you all. And if there's any other questions or thoughts, happy to stick around, or you can always email me at andy@getshogun.com. And yeah, just appreciate everybody's time. I don't know if Jonas or Maura, you had anything else you wanted to add, but thanks for the opportunity to share all this.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can usually just hang around with for more questions, but yeah, thank you, Andy. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great. If you have any more questions, please drop them in the chat. If not, we will. Corey had a question. Corey, if you're going to switch to Page Builder, I think you should get on right now. There's no need to wait for next week. We're ready, and everything you saw for Page Builder is available right now. So if you want to talk about front end, we're absolutely happy to hop on a call. But if you want to get started in Page Builder, absolutely head to the app stores right now. And as I said, we'll send this out as a video afterwards if you want to catch it or send it to someone else. If you're interested in Page Builder, again, we're available on the app stores. And if you want to try out front end, you can book a demo, and I'll include a link as well in the follow-up email, so you can learn about what front end is and the power behind it. But thank you again for hanging out with us. Oh yeah, no worries, Corey. And let us know if you have any questions. And we'll see you next time. Thank you again, Andy and Jonas. I appreciate you. And one more question.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, timeline on the SKU integration or other subscription support? Not on top of my head, William, but we can always, if you'd like, you can even leave us your contact information. You can email us directly. I guess support at Get Shogun. Would that be a good place? Or even my email address, if you could send me directly, because that SKU integration is specific to front end, I believe. If that's where you found it, let me just double check. Yeah, it's probably where you found it. So yeah, please feel free to email either support or myself, and I can definitely check with our integrations team to see what that timeline looks like. No sorries needed.
Yeah, no hugs. We love the questions.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you again, everyone. Andy and Jonas, thank you as always, and we'll see you all next time.
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.